My name is Liz Fraccaro, and I am the project director of the Antiquities Coalition's Financial Crimes Task Force. I'm joined here today by Michael Greenwald, who is the fellow of the Financial Crimes Task Force, and we'll be discussing non-fungible tokens. A non-fungible token is a unit of data on a blockchain representing non-fungible ownership rights regarding an item or respective claim. It can be applied to anything, and now we are seeing the rise of it being applied to artworks.
Thank you, Liz. It's great to be here with the coalition, and I'm excited to have this conversation here today.
Great. I'm curious what your opinion is just off the bat. What does this mean for the future of the art market? It seems like this is a rapidly changing landscape.
You know, I think it is. I think we're at an incredible inflection point right now for the art market. Obviously, as you and I have been discussing, the regulations that came out in January looking at the art market, and obviously the report by the Antiquities Coalition, but now with the tremendous potential for NFTs in the art market and beyond. I think ultimately there's great potential. It knows no bounds. I think the result of the Christie's sale for Beeples and now Damien Hirst and other digital artists getting in to this arena, it's really quite explosive.
What do you think the appeal is to artists who are joining this new space?
Well, I think, digital art, and to take a step back, it's a long established artistic medium. And I believe it's been in existence since the 50s. And when, civilians were first able to gain access to computing systems. And so I think even before the introduction of NFTs and, blockchain technology, it was really impossible to assign a specific value or an asset class to something in purely digital means. And so I think it's all to say that this isn't entirely new. What's new is how it's being utilized in the art market and what it means for different forms of expression. And so I think we're seeing now artists being able to make new cultural statements. Artists are being able to be seen more, and quite frankly, there's going to be more transparency in the art market, which I can say we're all very supportive of.
I will say, from my perspective, it's really wonderful that we now have a built-in mechanism for tracking both proof of authenticity and ownership, which has been an issue with the art market as well as other marketplaces. This is a brand new way to do so, and it seems a much more permanent way as well.
Yeah, no, I think beneficial ownership and understanding who your customer is and where who the people are at each stage of the transaction is going to be critical. So I think right now, art lawyers and consultants and advisors and auction houses, they're all grappling with the money trail, right? And like what currency it should be paid in and who it should be paid, whether it should be Ethereum and in a different marketplaces. Ultimately, that's going to depend also on what the United States does regarding a digital dollar and one backed by the Federal Reserve. And I think if that does come into existence, like you've seen China do with the digital yuan, that may make it an even more easier framework for compliance shops and others, because right now there is no digital dollar for those transactions to go through.
Right. And what other kind of challenges do you see for compliance and regulation?
Well, I think that first it's explaining, what an NFT is, what systems you need to use. There's going to be, like everything, scams and frauds. So you're going to have to really make sure you do know who your customer is. I think Christie's just now has an NFT department. So there's going to be new NFT departments coming up across the board. There's going to be new compliance education for not only these auction houses like the big three. I like to view Christie's, Sotheby's, and Phillips as almost like the central banks of the art market, right? And so the smaller banks, the galleries and others, on a statewide level, they're going to need more compliance, and those costs are going to go up. So they're going to be grappling with not only more regulation coming into the art market, but more compliance costs.
Right, because traders will be subject to AML regulations. Cryptocurrency is still currency. And, I think there's also the question of tax liability coming up. We don't have clear guidance on it yet.
That's true. I think there's definitely tax implications. The IRS and Treasury and others are going to be looking closely at this, and so it's a sales tax issue, depending on what state you're operating in. So those are going to be key areas. And then I expect, Liz, charities to get involved in the digital art auctions. I think this will become a popular way for charities to raise money, and that's going to be complex from a tax issue as well. So all of these things make art lawyers very successful, very popular going forward. And I spoke to many in the last couple of weeks, and their phones won't stop ringing.
Thank you so much for talking today, Michael.
My pleasure. Take care, Liz.
You too.